So the first one we're going to do is clearing the head. So headspace super busy, gets really hectic. So you can just start by just pulling the center line of the scalp. And then if that's feeling too much, you can just gently tap. And as you just tap around the top of the crown of the head, and maybe get your fingers and massage like you're having your hair washed at the salon, and just move the scalp. And as you're doing this, just notice any tender spots and maybe give them a little bit more attention. And you can move down towards the temples, which is often quite tender, and down around the sides and the back of the ear. Really good area for where we store stress. And as you're doing the back, get into the base of the neck and give that a nice and big massage. And if you'd rather, you can do a little bit of tapping, that helps, but often just that feeling like you're having your hair washed is awesome. Already feeling better, right? And then come back to those temples and just finding that area around the eyes. And then we're just going to start to just tap around the top of the eyebrows. It's nice and gentle. Coming down the sides of the eyes like little circles into the top of the cheeks and then inner eye. So just taking those little circles just to help clear what we see. And then shake out those hands, shake out the fingers. And just release some of that, whatever that was from your head. Sometimes that can be enough, okay? And the next thing that can be really useful, especially if you don't have a lot of space and you can't move a lot, is to do the feet. So we're going to come down to the floor. You could have a seat in a chair if you've got a chair. And you're going to grab hold of your foot and put one finger in between each toe if you can. And you just draw some easy little circles with your feet. This just helps to open the feet. You can often get really tight and lazy in shoes. And then we circle the other way. And as you're doing it, you're just opening out the ankle, opening up all the tiny little muscles and ligaments and stuff in the feet, and you can get really congested. And then just rock the toes forwards and back a couple of times. Just stretching in. And then if you want, you can really connect down underneath the second toe joint here and just give that a really nice good rub. And that's a really key meridian point in terms of our energy and our connection to feeling life, and it can just start to help us tap into that feeling of what's important for us. And maybe just give your feet a little squeeze, a little bit of love, notice if there's any tender spots, and then shake out those hands, and we'll come to the other foot, so fingers in between each toe, and then just taking those easy circles. And again, just be in a comfortable seat. Notice any clicking or cricking that might be happening in the ankle, and then we'll reverse the other way. This is a lovely thing to do at bedtime, and if you have the luxury of a bowl and some hot water and maybe a little essential oil like lavender, chuck that in, put your feet in a really nice warm water, and just let your feet feel the warmth soaking into them. And if you can, get some Epsom salts or something, add those in too. Okay, we're just going into the toes. And anything with the feet is super calming and grounding. It just helps all that energy flood from the body and down into the earth, where it can be made use of for something that needs the energy that you're holding on to. Okay, and then we squeeze, get into that little point of the sole of the foot, a little squeeze, a little massage. Have a little feel through the feet, notice any tender spots, and maybe just give them an extra squeeze and a rub. Ooh. Okay, and then shake out those hands. The next thing we're going to do is come back up to standing, but you don't need to do the standing. You can do this seated, okay? And it's drawing figure of eights. Figure of eights are a universal symbol, and you can do them just with your arms. You could just do it with one arm. And you want to draw it around your body, like you are creating your space. So often, we talk about personal space and bubbles. And it's lovely to create your bubble, paint it with figure of eights. And if you start to let your hips go into figure of eights and your feet, you kind of step around, then you really get the whole of the body moving into it. And it doesn't need to be like this if you don't want to. You could literally just little finger around the face, around the crown, just feeling into what works for you. Or you could make it into a big movement, feel like you're a dancer, but just really go for it, really feel those figures nice and big. I love going side to side. For me, this is such a nice feeling. And this is a great way to start your day, but also to end your day. And I often end my day just doing simple cleaning around my body with my arms. And then to draw it all in and up, we're going to inhale, draw the arms wide and up to the center. Let the palms connect, and exhale, draw them down through the center. And again, inhale, reach those arms out wide and up. And again, you can do this seated and draw the hands into the center. And this just helps us cultivate and draw our energy into us. So sometimes if we're giving out too much and we're being overly generous with ourselves, we need to use this one to help us draw back into what's going to serve and look after us. And then if you're feeling a bit too introspective and a bit too overwhelmed by yourself, the option is to lift the arms up and draw your circle out wide. And you can, again, add in the whole body if you're standing, lifting up and circling the arms out wide. And this just takes us out of ourselves and starts to help us get away from whatever the thoughts and the feelings are that are going on inside our own head, and help us start to think about giving and being of service to others. So this can sometimes feel a really beautiful way to clear the overwhelm and just come back into our own selves. And then we'll come back to center, and the hands just rest for a moment. Take a moment, just feel how you're starting to shift and what maybe is having a different impact on you. We're going to bring our hands to our heart center and let the hands rest here for a moment. You can do it with your hands in prayer if that feels more comfortable and familiar. And then we're just going to draw a heart shape across the chest and down towards the low belly. And as you do this, just spreading love through your body, connecting all of your energy systems. And then you can start to draw it bigger, letting it shower you with love. And again, this is another one, shower yourself with love. Let everything move. As you do this, really feeling that love connecting all the way back into you. And then taking one final lift of the arms up. Open the chest, open the arms, take a big reach in a V shape. Feel yourself open and receptive to your heart. And then draw your hands together and draw them over the crown of your head. And just feel your feet and your head connecting, your body a container. Bring your hands to your third eye, your vision and your sight clear. Powerful point between your eyes that sees all. Trust in that inner vision. And then bring your hands back to your heart. Again, keep them in prayer, or you can let the hands rest on the heart. And just take a moment to hear your breath or your heartbeat, if you can tap into that today. Perhaps there's a little message from your heart. A simple message to help you with managing your overwhelm. I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoy the videos and you're finding them supporting you, please hit subscribe, share them with people who you think may benefit and appreciate them, and get in touch with me. I always love hearing how you're doing and any questions, queries or requests. Take care and have a wonderful day.